Hi everyone, my name is Daisy and I'm a knitwear designer. I'm recording this episode primarily for my Patreon and YouTube channel members, so if you'd like to stay up to date, please consider joining me on Patreon or as a member of my YouTube channel. If you're watching this at a later date, please subscribe and enjoy the episode. Hi everyone! Can you imagine that it's already end of the summer? I'm recording this on August 20th, so there's just a few more days left. We've been busy around the house here and I was busy with some knitting, so yeah, it just all flew by. So as you can see, I'm still in France. This is our upstairs bedroom and you can probably hear the floor squeaking when I move. That's unfortunately unavoidable, but I really like that it's a first cloudy day, so I can have some very mild light here, and hopefully you have a nice picture. So I can sit down and record without the camera overheating or a harsh light coming in. Yeah, I honestly wouldn't survive the summer in an apartment. Back in the Netherlands, it would have been too hot, especially during those two really strong heat waves that we had here in Europe. The first one caught me in Paris and it was unbearable in June. And the second one was quite recently, but we were lucky here in the north, so we were spared the worst part, but it got really hot more in the south of France. And as you can see, there are wildfires now, and yeah, you can really feel the climate change and the global warming here. Last year was very wet, lots of rain, no proper summer. So this year is very hot, very dry. At some point I was really worried about the fires because everything was very dry, crisp dry. So yeah, it's been wonderful to be here, having the opportunity to go outside, to do things in the garden. Yeah, I'm going to miss it a lot, even though I complain about weeding. But I'm gonna miss it, I'm sure. In just a few weeks, I'm gonna be like, okay, yes, I'm ready. I'm ready to do it again, all over again. In any case, we are going back to the Netherlands, and after that, I'm going to Ukraine. I'm hoping to record something while I'm there, like cooking or maybe going foraging. But it will depend on the mood and the whole situation, how safe it is. You know that there are peace negotiations starting now and stuff like that. So I don't know how that's gonna play out. But we are hoping for, yeah, a resolution. I'm not very optimistic though, so let's not dwell on it. We'll see what's gonna happen, and what's supposed to happen, it will happen in any case. So instead of wondering about what's gonna happen, let me show you what I've been working on and what will happen knit-wise in the next couple of months. Because today we started the test knits for these two designs that I'm going to show you. So let's take a look. Remember the swatch I showed you last time? I worked in Erica Knight's yarn, local wool. I have a skein here of their fingering weight. So this is how the label looks like. This one is fingering weight, and then in the iron weight you will have the iron word here underneath. So I use this yarn, the iron weight, in color 810 Cronfield, held together with a perfect match that I found for knitting for Olive. This is the silk mohair in brown nougat. This is how they look together. It's actually absolutely perfect, and I used them together to create actually an iron weight yarn, because they say that this is the leftover of the iron weight, and they say that this is iron, but in my book it's more like a worsted weight, and I'm thinking that with a strand of silk mohair it does create a proper iron weight. So I used this one on a 5mm US 8 needle for my design. You saw the swatch. So I swatched the top of the yoke, the how the neck is gonna look, and the first section of the texture of the yoke. And the rest I felt like I'm going to improvise. So there was lots of knitting and unraveling involved. But it's also a way that I like to work sometimes, to just enjoy the process and see where it leads you, because sometimes you can swatch all different patterns and think that you're gonna use them in this order, but then somehow they don't work on the whole thing, so still you end up unraveling. And yeah, and in this way you get to see what's on your needles and where the stitches want to go after each round. So I enjoy this very intuitive way of designing very often. Yeah, so this is what I came up with. I'm gonna show you first, and then I will tell you the name. So this is how the pullover looks like. It has this textured yoke with two sections of twisted ribbing sort of pattern, and then the body is worked in a waffle stitch, and then you have another repeat of this textured rib on the sleeve, and the hem and the sleeves are finished with garter stitch. So lots of textural, touchy, yeah, 3D voluminous elements that come together in this one. It's not boring at all. There are lots of things happening here, and I really, really enjoyed working on it, because when you move to the next section, it's again exciting to figure out what's gonna happen. So I called this one Snopko. It's funny. It's a made-up word. It's non-existing word, but it is a sort of a diminutive version of snip, which is a real word for sheaf, for a bunch of grains or grasses held together. And since there is so many grain-like, grass-like textures on this one, I felt like it was a good match. It felt like a good name for this one. Yeah, I'll show you on the back. So you can see that the short rows here are worked in twisted ribbing, and seamlessly are hidden in the pattern. And yeah, this whole thing is very funny. You knit the yoke as normal, top down in the round, and then when you reach the section of the waffle stitch, you turn your work inside out and you work the waffle stitch on the wrong side. So you basically work 70, 90, 70, 80% of the sweater on the wrong side. That's because we don't want to purl on the right side, right? So we just alternate the rows of simple ribbing and the knit all rows, and that on the wrong side that creates this kind of texture waffle sort of pattern. And then you go back to, like on the hem and on the cuffs, you go back to the right side and you finish the edges on the right side. So that's a little trick how to get this nice texture without purling too much. It is quite heavy. My sample is almost 500 grams, 460, 70, something in that area. But it is also very, how do you say this? It's quite drapey, and when you wear it, you don't feel like it's heavy. It sort of hangs on you. It's not like, it's not too bulky, but it's cozy, and it gives you, you know, like a weighted blanket. It calms you down. It weighs you, sort of weighs you down, but in a good way. So something to remember, because the yarn is quite heavy, and also because the waffle stitch pattern is quite dense, so you will probably spend more yarn on it than you just work in stockinette. So I think if you don't want to have it too heavy or spend too much money on yarn, you could do the body and the sleeves in simple stockinette, or in a reverse stockinette, like on the front side. You could do the stockinette, and then to complement a bit the texture, because I'm thinking that simple stockinette would be too plain for this one. So you could try to do the reverse stockinette on this one, and spend less yarn and have it slightly lighter. And yeah, I have a tiny little problem here with the sleeve. There are two options in the pattern now. We will try to figure out during the test which works better. I had this sort of texture drape here, which is made from 3 stitches on this sleeve, and I think it does have a bit of a twirl. Can you see that it's leaning a bit onto one side? And that didn't block out. I thought it might block out, but it didn't. It doesn't bother me too much. I could live with this. But I thought that we will also test and see if substituting this one for a 2-stitch rib, texture rib, will be better. So you will see in the pattern what we decided on. I'm not sure if I'm gonna re-knit mine or not. Haven't decided yet. So, but let me show you the hat, and you will see. So this is the 2-stitch rib. It looks really nice as well, so you won't really see the difference, but my hope is that the twirl will disappear, this twist sort of thing. I'll show you one next to each other. So how does this work? Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's the same direction. I'm not holding it upside down. So this is something that I will have to figure out during the test and see what the other think, because I probably wouldn't mind it. It's not such a long section, so it doesn't like distort the whole sleeve. It's just a tiny section next to the cuff, but it might be nice to have it straight. I know why it's happening, but yeah, there we go. So this has been a really fun journey. It's been quite quick, considering that I had to go back a few times and figure things out. I started first on a smaller needle, and it was turning too dense. I think if it felt like the stitches didn't get enough air, so they needed more room. To bloom, to have this texture fully visible, fully expressed. um, so then I switched to a bigger needle, and I think it was a very nice, a very smart decision. And it also went really fast because of a bigger needle. So there is some changes with the needle sizes here on the yoke, and you start the neck with a smaller needle, but the body and the sleeves are worked on 5mm, and that goes really fast. So I had some yarn leftovers, and this is me leading you to the hat that I already showed you. And I made a little hat that, well, it's not so little, but I made a hat, and this grew in like a day, also very quick and easy. There is one stitch that you have to learn here, is this textured rib, and it's actually the rib rib that I used for my javelin pullover and javelin shawl, so it's not completely new to me. This one has 2 stitches in the rib itself. Yeah, the one on the pullover had 3 stitches, so there was a bit of a new thing that they worked really nice on the yoke, but on the sleeve it did give, you saw what it did. So the hat is knit also in round, bottom up, so from the brim to the crown, and you see that it has 3 sections. So one is actually the folding, the part that folds up on the outer side, the one that you see that when it's folded. Then you have a section of simple 1x1 ribbing, and then the body of the hat and the crown shaping are done in this textual pattern. So this is the wrong side of this. You start with 1x1 twisted rib, and then you do this nice textured part, and then what do we do then? And then we do the 1x1 thing. We do the 1x1 thing, and after that you wrap and turn it inside out, and continue working on what was essentially your wrong side. That's why it looks like this. So you continue working the body and the crown on the wrong side, as if it was your right side. And then when you're finished, you fold your brim, and you have this wonderful textured look on both sides, and a nice a little plain and stretchy section that holds close to your ears on the inside. So you can try, if you want it snug, you can switch to a smaller needle on this section and have it nice and snug to your needle, to your ears. That depends how you like your hats. This one is quite snug. I love it because this textured part, it is quite stretchy. So if you want your hat to be more fitted, you can play with that inner section and get it more tight, knit it more on a tighter gauge. So this is how it looks. I have no hair, so on me everything looks very weird, but imagine that I have a coal here or something, and then I don't look so weird. Yeah, so this is me in winter, and that no longer looks like a crazy person in a hat in summer. So yeah, very happy with this one. I think I'm gonna make another one in I have a loch lomond left from my maaretak, so it should be a good weight for this gauge. And I wrote the pattern for 5 sizes, so that should be also fine for children and men with bigger heads, or I don't know, women with lots of hair, lucky ones. And I hope everyone will find it really nice and useful. I think I'm gonna make a few more. I really enjoyed shaping it. It has this, I don't know, it's split in four parts and then shaped this way. So when you put it on, it sort of holds the shape. It doesn't fold back, or it's not, yeah, it's not to fit it on your head. It sort of stands on its own. And for people like me who doesn't have anything else happening on my head, that's sort of nice, you know, I think. So if you like this kind of hat, and if you're looking to make one, look no further. I used one skein of the Erica Knight's local wool Aran weight for this one, and also I held it together with silk mohair. What the silk mohair does to this yarn, it gives it more depth, because the colorway on its own is wonderful. It's beautiful, melange, beige, rose, rustic color. So it's very mixed. It's not like a plain solid color, but I think it's lacking a bit of, maybe it doesn't like, but I really like it with a bit of silk mohair, and with the fluffiness, it gives it a bit of a depth. So for the hat, I think it also makes it a bit softer. It's not necessarily the softest yarn you'll find, but it is a wonderful and durable yarn. I can tell that it's gonna last and wear fine. So I'll let you know if that changes, but it seems like that it's gonna be a favorite hat, and probably my husband is gonna borrow it. Last year I made myself, was it last year or the year before, I made myself a new Grass Whispers beanie, and he stole it. He just took it. And we were in winter here in France, doing some work outside, and yeah, just in general, when you're in the countryside, you're more cold than when you're in the city. So he, who rarely wears a hat, we're looking for a hat. And yeah, there goes my hat. So now I have a new one. So I should make a few more, just in case someone decides to take mine. I've been also knitting on a mini shawl, mini scarf for the hat to like throw on my neck really closely. Yeah, I'm a big fan of those since I made one last year, but I haven't decided yet. This is too wide, I think. I already unraveled it once, but this is too wide, I think, to be comfortable to wrap. It's not going to be much long. It's probably a bit too long as well. So yeah, haven't decided yet if this is going to happen, but it is a nice twisted textured ribbing that could be nice for something like that. Not sure. I will let you know. Yeah. So this is what on my needle still. I have this much yarn left. It should be enough to finish a scarf. No idea. So we started a test for this today. The hat will go out sooner because it's simple, it's very quick, and I'm gonna need another one, so I'm gonna be pretty sure that everything works. And then the pullover will take longer because of yeah, it's much more work. And hopefully in October, we will see the pullover out, and sometime in middle September we'll have the beanie out. Yes, so that's the plan. That's the plan for me. I'm thinking of a color work for the next one. No idea what it's gonna be yet, but I'm craving something different. So alternating between color work and textures, or it would be nice to make a shawl. Like, I'm not giving up on a shawl, on a proper shawl, but we'll see how that goes. There should be inspiration for this kind of things. Like, I don't want to start something just because I feel like, oh, I should do it. When I feel like I have a good idea for it, I will. I will. Um, I think that's it for now. I think I've told you everything. We are very active on Patreon. There is a chat room for all testers. You don't have to be a paying member. You can just join for free. We are also having some knit-alongs for Paulina, which is running all time, so you can join at any time and ask questions and show pictures. We're also having one for Meadowquit, the one I'm wearing now. I will be back home and will be more active there. We'll announce prizes. We should have some encouragement. So if you feel like joining or knitting some of my designs, come stop over on Patreon, and I'll be glad to have you all there. That's it. I really wish you a wonderful end of summer. Maybe a wonderful Indian summer if that happens this year. I think it should. And then I will talk with you in the next episode. Take care and thank you for watching.